Okay, a mulligan to 6 for Dave, and Adam has kept a 7-card hand. It looks like we are ready to go. Pastina, thank you for the gift subs. 5 gift subs for Pastina. Appreciate that. It's a nice start to the match. Leyline of the Void on the board. All right, we're doing a thing. Here's Grief pitching Fatal Push. Stealthy Voidwalker, Thoughtseize, Beseech the Mirror, Urza Saga, Agadine, and Vault of Whispers. Okay, Romario saying good job on the pronunciation. Thank you, Romario.
Closer encounters, and then if I'm the monarch, I
This is only from the battlefield, right? May I read this?
Yeah.
We're going to swing with the boys. All right, you go.
What are the 3 best decks in the format? Is there any control deck at all viable? The 3 best decks in the format are...
I am now the monarch. I don't have a monarch token, so that's going to be represented by... Don't worry, I got something.
All right, I'm going to take your tutor. You got these? We got
This,
Hold on, I got to bring up my spreadsheet. Let's see.
I'm the monarch, so at the end of the turn, I'll take one.
Fetch to 17. Yep. Give up the Cannon Down. Cast this. Ping here.
Underground Sea. I think it's debatable, kidding aside, which decks are the top 3 or tier 1 right now. Control decks definitely are viable in the current environment. There are multiple kinds of control decks with different colors, different arrangements of cards, besides the core Brainstorm, Force of Will, Ponder crap. And we have Doctor Who coming out in a couple of days. I think the Magic format is in a nice flux right now, and I'm enjoying it. And everybody out there playing whatever decks, have fun.
Yep.
So...
Do I think Doctor Who is going to have an impact? No cards in Doctor Who really jumped out at me as obvious legacy staples or anything like that. But anytime there are one of these commander decks, there is a chance something will break in that people either overlooked or are skeptical about at this point in time. But nothing jumped out at me so far. There's a green-white legend that is close. It's like a 2/4 that when it deals damage, you both draw cards equal to some amount, and I don't know.
Well, block with this.
4 damage.
Pass you.
Also, the time travel stuff is kind of interesting because we do have suspend cards getting played in Legacy. Stuff like Ancestral Visions or Crash of Rhinos or there's another suspend card. Anyway, there could be something there, but I really don't know.
Three.
Yes.
And so you will get a third impact count.
Comment? Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to go back to 20.
Yep. It was yours. Go to Garen, break the train.
I think Voidwalker getting in for attacks.
I'll play the Saga. Trigger.
Here's an Urza Saga for Adam.
Yep.
Trigger is on the stack. A chance to waste it with the trigger on the stack.
Will continue to trigger even if he's no longer in play, right?
Exactly, it's its own permanent.
Ecstatic Beauty? I'll have to look that up. Sergeant John Benton. Yeah, MTG Bot doesn't have the spoilers yet, but I think that's the card I was talking about. Thank you, Scott.
You roll a 3 or 6, right?
Exactly.
Choose an opponent, they choose a creature you control, then
Here's a Dark Ritual in the stack. This could get ugly.
the chosen creatures.
You're going to go to 4 and
If you do, return them to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Otherwise, the chosen creatures.
Helm of Obedience in combination with both Leyline and Voidwalker could be a problem for Kaplan.
And you're going to choose a creature you control. And then I decide if they flicker wisp or if they fight. Basically.
Understood. And is this a set of triggers that goes on the stack?
Beseech the Mirror, bargaining away Vault of Whispers.
If I hit
Before
the
you
number-
choose, I would have to remove the creature.
Exactly.
You don't say, okay, this target.
Helm of Obedience is found. Of course. And it looks like Kaplan has seen enough. That is game 1 going to Helm. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. Both players have kept 7. It seems Grief pitching Troll of Khazad-dûm. No pregame ley line. Let's take a look at what's in Adam's hand. Agadim, Thoughtseize, Krolmox, Urza's Saga, Dark Ritual, Vault of Whispers, and Shieldred's Edict. Fluffy says, I really like the Master formed anew. Yeah, I'll have to look that. See, I don't have all the Doctor Who cards memorized off the top of my head right now, but I think Fluffy is could be onto something here.
Oh, it didn't scam me.
All right, no scam. Underground Sea Pass and Adam Size Relief.
I'm going to 5. Trigger.
Urza Saga comes in for Adam. I mean, if there's any tell on these commander sets and how it all goes, okay, Wasteland removes Urza Saga. That's pretty good for Kaplan. Initiative wasn't really a thing until months and months later when it came out on MTGO. Creative Technique wasn't really a thing until like 2 years later when it came out on MTGO. Aside from MTGO compatibility, and I have no idea if Doctor Who will be on MTGO on time or not, but there's also been some sleeper cards in all the commander sets that took a couple of months to start seeing some play. There's a recent one that started seeing some play that oh, what was that? Yeah, there's some commander card that's seeing recent play, but damn, I was just talking about it at the shop the other day and I can't remember what card it was. All right, so here's Vault of Whispers in a Swamp on Adam's side and End Step Bowmasters.
I'll take play a
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't have to that.
Attacking for 2 here is Kaplan.
This whole Samwise shit is really fun. I guess your Brock is right there, so it's just. It's over basically. And then I'll press the off. Oh, yeah.
royalty. I also +1 in a royal gold token. Now he's
6 cards in Adam's hand. Looks like Kaplan's holding just 3.
Not very likely that happens, but that happens. You're up.
Powder Keg. Okay.
And you have like random one-off like saga targets like Needle.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple of weird cards in the Doctor Who set that are really hard, in my opinion, to evaluate. Just looking at them at a glance and reading the text does not really tell me how powerful they are in any meaningful way, I feel. All right, Powder Keg was detonated. Chrome Mox comes in, pitching Agadim. That also killed the Orc army.
Likely to
Making another land drop. But just passing the turn. Yeah, everybody lives seems interesting too. It's really hard to figure out how powerful these cards are calibrated for legacy play. These weird commander cards.
Like I have the portable one generally.
It's going to be fun over the next couple of weeks to see if any Doctor Who cards break in, that's for sure. They don't feel as clearly low power as, for example, the Stranger Things kids or the Walking Dead characters, where these cards seem, in the context of Commander, playable. All right, so Shieldred's Edict getting cast in response to Grief. In response to Grief entering, I should say.
That's a good force.
Dark Ritual discarded. Just a Dark Ritual and an Ancient Tomb left in hand. So that was a Reanimate on Grief. Kind of a delayed scam, I would say. But not much going on in Adam's hand right now. Nothing exciting happening.
You really don't need it. I mean, like, you go to beat them.
All right, found a Hymn to Turak off the top. That's something. Discarding a Fetch and a Grief, it looked like. Ponder for Kaplan. Looks like there's a Force of Will in there. Maybe double Force and a Troll.
Trigger.
Yep. Do you like the jump not variant, which I'm not crazy about?
Yeah, that's accurate.
Playing book it.
Because you front load like two you get your like
Lightning bolt is
Torpor sometimes just slips away. That too. I mean, that's why I punch for here. Stop saying initiative and passes.
It's 2 mana. 3 mana, sorry.
I mean, if this Grief finishes off Adam, it'll be a good story for Kaplan. I guess there's just not much going on Adam's side right now. The Ricky Ross says no miracles in like a month. I'm having withdrawals over here. Is that true? We've seen miracles over the last month.
No, it's just his power. They deal damage to each other equal to their power. That's it.
All right, Bowmaster's getting flashed in here. This time on Adam's side. Yeah, we had Maverick on earlier. 3 weeks. All right, people are keeping track of how many miracles matches we get.
Very good against the fire.
Some Force of Phil fans in the chat. All right, there's a Saga enters.
This is all oddly relevant right now.
Agadim's Awakening for 2. Targeting Orcish Bowmasters. I'll get the text for that up on the screen. Usually this is just played face down as a land. It just reanimates stuff for black, black, black X. X is the mana value. Kaplan thinking about responding to Agadim. Agadim is still in the stack. Force pitching Force. We knew about the double Force.
50 for Grixis Delver deck.
Kaplan taking a look at the graveyard now. Is there a way to finish off Adam before Adam can assemble a bunch of constructs? Is what we're wondering. All right, Grief comes back with a reanimate.
There's the only creature in your graveyard.
Dark Ritual is discarded.
Just choosing these 2 creatures. I'll flick rest them.
Whether or not I want to do new green effect for the counter spell backup, or if I just want to
Two. Yeah.
I'll cast it.
Right now.
pushing, I think is
Just to
the
open
cheap
another attraction.
All right, Vic Vega is excited. We're here. Null Rod. Okay. That does something. Prevents Shadow Spear from being a problem.
Okay, and this is a must if you hit this, right? It's not a may.
It's going to be a race.
Go to my asset.
Construct gets created. I'm assuming another construct will get created here. And then we'll see what Adam decides to dig up with Saga, with Null Rod on the table.
Okay.
Is that a first strike, does it?
No, it's just per white. You take 3 and go to 8.
Yep.
Okay, so Pithing Needle on Wasteland selected. That makes sense.
So that's not even illegal.
Good to find an artifact with a static. Plays a useless Chromox. Imprint nothing, just trying to boost power toughness here. Attacking for 5. Yeah, Shadow Spear would probably normally be the pick, but no Rod's on the table, so can't even equip. So I like going for Needle here. That makes sense. And it's not likely Null Rod will get removed from the table. We're likely stuck with that. Kaplan's at 1 life, though. These constructs are going to swing for the kill next turn.
Triggers.
Kaplan keeps back Grief on defense.
Any blue deck. Two.
So it's only. You can only
Okay, Shadow Spear was also in hand, I guess.
So
Swinging
I
here.
roll, and if I hit multiple, I trigger multiple.
Brazen Borrower on 1 token
I roll once.
and block the other.
Trigger.
Urza Saga comes in. That is the match. Adam gets it. Good games.